Would you give up the power of a king? He did. This is George Washington resigning his commission, which in simple terms means giving up his military power to the Congress. And I know some people, the only thing they know of George Washington is that he owned slaves, he owned slave. Let's learn something new. This is the moment after the war, Washington gives up his power instead of taking the power and becoming a king himself. Many years later, King George actually said that Washington was the man of character of the age and was very dignified for doing this. And you can imagine, I'm sure King George probably was secretly hoping Washington would take power and become a king himself. That way he could be like, see, I told you this asshole just wanted to be a king himself. But no, Washington really was about democracy and allowing the people to choose. And it really shows like how lucky this country was that they had him. And when you look back at some of Washington's battles, some mistakes were made. He wasn't the greatest general, but he was the guy they needed at the time to make sure this experiment of democracy actually worked. But then you look at like today, in some countries in the Middle East, you look at the King of Jordan, this piece of shit. You think he would actually give up his power and allow people to make a decision in their own lives? Or this bastard, the Prince of Saudi Arabia, you think he was going to let his people speak freely and criticize him? No, he's going to cut you up with a bone saw and throw your ass away. That's what he does. You know, ironically, in the last video, I was joking about my favorite founding father being David Ben Gurion. But if I had to pick from just the Middle East, I got to hand it to him. Prime Minister for the first 5 years of Israel, took a 2-year break, came back for 7 years. And then after that, just like Washington, he resigned. He went back to his regular civilian life for 10 years. You think the current guy running Israel, this piece of shit, you think he's going to ever give up his power? This guy's going to stay in office till he dies because he knows his ass is going to jail from all the corruption charges he's in Israel. But that's now. So you can imagine how lucky this country was 200 years ago to have a man like this. But there are a group of people among us, they have no respect for the founders of this country. They don't care to learn anything good about them, only the negative. And they live among us.